is your day now, your day to shine. Take back the gifts you have and make the world your shrine. Make it the best you can. Make it about you. This is your day now, baby. Go out there, make your dreams come true.
Very proud to be bringing on for an interview. I hope you enjoyed the interview with the lovely Maria Tomic. So we're going live everywhere because we're going to be bringing on an amazing guy. We're going to be bringing on a hip hop artist. I'm going to play some of his music to you before we start, but I have to send him a link to get on. So please, let me turn this around so you don't see my emails. Jonny Dart. People can watch all the social media, so you can people to watch you on all the social media. YouTube. I'm just watching your YouTube at the moment. You can watch us on Facebook. You can watch us on TV. Information about you. Jonny Dart is joining us, going to join us on here. He's a hip hop artist and a conscious light worker. So I'm really looking forward to interviewing him. Here's some information about him. He's an MC, currently living in Bristol. Early exposure to hip hop music during Tupac in the mid-90s, where he felt the aesthetic quality of the beat, voice, tone, pain, and passion of the track. I Ain't Mad at Ya was very palpable. Eventually, his love for his music led Jonny to discover the conscious aspect of hip hop and other influences such as KRS-One, to whom he still accredits his passion for MCing. I can't wait to bring him on so he can explain this more to me. Hairs in the eyes, in my nose. Okay, so I'm going to play a piece for you. Play you something by Jonny Dart.
Part of my mission in life to uplift, if it just isn't all right. Yes. J Dart. Yeah. I away, practice gratitude to change my state. Change the way I feel naturally can change the day. Strange to say, so as I see the sun's glistening light. Part of my mission in life is to uplift, if it just isn't alright. I know it's got deep, you lost peeps, missing them right. Wishing they were with you, wanna kiss in the night. And I knew that you've been suffering the stress of the strife. Yes, it's alright, if you focus on the blessings in life. Focus on the breath, notice the chest, the rise and fall. How you connect to the rest, you'll recognize it all. Reckon guys are cool that got it all figured out. Sick of it now, when you catch a break, falling down's a sickening sound. Bickering now, it's like your lights flickering out. But if you built a wall, still be cool, we're kicking it down, kicking it now. Jay giving out a different sound, specific to how you're living when it's pissing it down. Figuratively speaking, quit seeking outside for solutions. Learn and look at life like it provides the solutions. And 9 times out of 10 it do, son. That's how the truth come through. Trust, then I just jump out the booth, done. Every day I'm alive, I thank my lucky stars. Till the day that I die, they'll say I'm lucky. Nah, fortune favors the brave, I'm pretty plucky, bruh. But every day I'm alive, I thank my lucky stars. Every day I'm alive, I thank my lucky stars. Until the day that I die, they'll say I'm lucky. Nah, nah, fortune favors the brave. I'm pretty plucky, bruh, but every day I'm alive, I thank my lucky stars. The next verse reflects the first, if only in a state of mind. Create a rhyme whose main intention is to take your mind to higher places. Why you're wasting time not tasting life in true abundance? Pursue recumbent with money, don't act like you're redundant. With no brain, yo, no pain, no gain. Want something? Got something I wanna say. I wanna paint the perfect picture of my passion and work with richer rations inside. Fit you like fashion and ride. You could assist mankind by evolving your thought, holding your thought within when waves roll on the shore. Look, it ain't the strength of the wind, it's the set of the sail. From the blessed to the frail, this goes to those who diss and reckon I fail. Every day I'm alive, I thank my lucky stars. Till the day that I die, they'll say I'm lucky now. Fortune favors the brave, I'm pretty plucky, bruh. But every day I'm alive, I thank my lucky stars. Every day I'm alive, I thank my lucky stars. Until the day that I die, they'll say I'm lucky now. Fortune favors the brave, I'm pretty plucky, bruh. But every day I'm alive, I thank my lucky stars. Every day I'm alive, I thank my lucky stars. Till the day that I die. Every day I'm alive, I thank my lucky stars. Till the day that I die. Every day I'm alive.
Hey guys, welcome back to Moving On TV. And we've got a big interview coming up at 9 o'clock with the lovely Jonny Dart, a hip-hop musician, light worker. But it is the Christmas period, so how about we do a Christmas song? Let's do a Christmas song. I'm dreaming of the one Christmas, just like the one I used to know, with the treetops, the sun and children, the sun to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, you had a nice day today. We do our best here to enhance you, make you feel good. With every Christmas card I write, your day be merry and bright, and may all your Christmas lights be white. Dreaming of a White Christmas. A beautiful song written by a Jewish guy called Urban Berlin, believe it or not. Christmas. I think Hanukkah is well gone. What else can we do? 9 o'clock, we've got an interview with Jonny Dart, which I'm really looking forward to. A hip-hop consciousness artist. I'm really fascinated. Right, let's do another Christmas marathon. Thank you for being part of eveyone TV. One more Christmas song. One more Christmas song, and then hopefully Jonny will be here. Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party. This is the hot way to see every sun, rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. Maybe we'll have some pumpkin pie and do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the halls with boughs and holly, rocking around the Christmas day. Have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way. You get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the halls with boughs of holly, rocking around the Christmas tree. Have a happy holiday. Everyone's dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way. Here's another Christmas one. Thinking. Take the halls with boughs of the la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la. Did you know our gay old mama, la 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 la. Don't be anxious, you might marry, la 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 la. Right, it's 9 o'clock. Let me just check what's going on with Johnny. Johnny, I really want to say this. Here's Johnny. Hang on, let me turn this away. Does it go in my emails? And here's Johnny. Oh, I didn't send him the link. That's why it didn't go. Come on, Lord. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Maybe you die again. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days. Happy golden days are beyond. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years, we all will be together. If the fates allow, hang that shining star upon the highest bough. And have yourself a merry little So, I just actually sent. Oh, I need. Last year, was it Martin who recorded this with me last year? Oh, let's do this one. Yeah, we did this the year before. Martin and I recorded this Christmas Eve. Maybe Johnny could sing it with me. But I just sent him. I actually just sent him the link. He's probably not got it yet. So we're probably running a little late, and as usual, the mic is gone now. Where's the mic gone? Where is the mic gone? Because the batteries are in. No, batteries are still okay. Right. Mic. Microphone. Mic. I must really connect up the new mic that Cara gave us the money to buy. I'll do that. No, the batteries are going again. God, this thing, the batteries, that hardly lasts at all. They honestly don't last. I'll have to do it without the mic. All right, let's go. Let's do it without the mic. Ah, Johnny's here. I need a male voice. Okay, I'll bring him on. I need a male voice for this one, okay? You'll hear in a minute. You'll hear why. Hi, it's always wonderful to have you here on Maybe on TV. Do you know it?
I can't sing.
It was Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk tank. An old man, he said to me, won't see another one. Ooh, sorry about this. I'm going to do both voices.
Oh, I don't know it.
And then he sang his song, I'm Irish, the rare old Mountain Dew. I turned my face away, and I dreamed of you. That's a lucky one. Came in at 10-1. I've got a feeling this year's for me and you. So happy Christmas
Happy Christmas.
I
Serious.
love you, baby. I love you. I can't see a better time when all our dreams come true. Oh, this thing keeps going off. Sorry. There we go. Cars, biggest bars, take up rivers of gold. Wind goes right through you, no place for the old. Took my hand on the pillow Christmas Eve. Yeah, promise me Broadway was waiting for me. You're handsome, you're pretty,
Pretty.
you're pretty. And did it they howled out for more. Country was singing, the drums they were singing. Kissed on the corner, then danced with the night. Boys of the NYPD choir were singing Broadway Day. And the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day. Sorry about this, Johnny, it just came off.
That's all right.
You're a bum, you're a punk, you're an old something chunk. I'm dead on the dripping nothing. You scumbag, you maggot, you cheap lousy faggot. Jesus, you are such way, it's your last. So here, baby, the choir still singing Galway Bay. And the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day. I'm actually a soprano. I could have been someone. Was so could anyone? You took my dreams from me when I first found you. I kept them with me, babe. I put them with me own. Can't make it all alone. I built my dreams around you. The boys of the NYPD choir singing Galway Day, and the bells are ringing out Christmas Day. We're nearly there. I'm also Jewish. Sorry about that. An Irish Jew. Hanukkah, Christmas.
I love it.
Right, that's enough of that, thank you. It's not finished yet. You didn't expect this, did you? Only because it's Christmas. We gotta make people laugh and smile.
What you add?
Yeah, it's gonna keep repeating itself. Thank you. Oh wow.
That was brilliant.
Johnny. Hi, welcome to Moving on TV. The madness is reigning. It's so lovely to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Can you hear me properly? Can you see me?
I can hear you. The screen is very small. I'll have to let you know that the little one's upstairs asleep, so I'll have to be quite quiet. But
Okay.
I think good.
I won't play. Okay, I won't play your music then. Okay. I have actually played your song Stars. I think it's the one that I actually downloaded. Stars.
Okay. Lucky
It's all
stars.
about gratitude and
Yeah.
Moving on TV is basically the new positivity, the new love. It's a TV station based on respect and love and kindness and unity. And Starseed sister here. And so I'm very interested in what you're doing because to me, honestly, to me, the concept of hip hop has always been covered in negativity, in bad language, in swearing, you know, the stuff that comes from America, the real hip hop. So
Yeah.
how does it work? Because you call yourself a conscious hip hop artist. I'm a conscious light worker. You're a
Yeah.
conscious hip hop artist. I'd love to understand if you could explain that concept to us. So I'm going to mute now, and I'm going to let you.
Um, it's a really great question, Lauren. And I'm really glad you asked that question. I think with the hip hop, I think it's as diverse as life itself. You've got, you've got positive, you've got negative, you've got people that came from um, violent upbringing, and obviously that's reflected in the lyrics. Obviously, you've got that people are real with that, and other people are chasing clout, so to speak, with that. So they're trying to emulate something that they're not coming from that life to get views, to get attention. Then you've obviously got, as you say, the conscious aspect, which is I think hinges on authenticity. I think it hinges on just being yourself. Like what I've learned over the last sort of 2 to 3 years, I'd say that authenticity is one of the highest values that I hold. And if you can obviously maybe possibly help to uplift someone, or help to get someone to see something in a bit of a different light through something you've learned, and maybe you can pass that on, all the better. I'm all for that. So that's what I would say on that. 100%.
Okay, okay. So I've got you. You've come from Bristol.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me? You come from Bristol. And so when did all of this start? I mean, I like to dig deep. My interviews are very, very deep, and they I kind of flow with my intuition, whatever comes to me.
Yeah.
So when we go, how far does this go back? Did you start out as a just mainstream performer, artist, and then become a conscious light hip hop worker? Or did you actually start this way? I mean, can you take me all the way back, maybe even as far back as you can remember? Was there light work in there? Was there consciousness in there? Or were you just a mainstream artist?
Okay. So my awakening story, if so to speak, would be probably around the sort of late 90s sort of time, maybe like around the sort of death of Diana, Princess Diana, time. That was when I sort of realized that things that we were being presented with weren't in accordance with reality, so to speak. Obviously when 9/11 happened, I was like, oh, this is something that's been not shown in the way that was represented by the mainstream media. Going on further, obviously with the hip hop side of things, my dad, basically, he was running his own business, and he was in like networking, and a guy I met through him said to me, "Oh, Johnny, you're into your hip hop, aren't you? You're into like Snoop, Dr. Dre, all that." And I was like, "Yeah, man, yeah." And he was like, "Have you ever heard of KRS-One?" And I was like, "No, who's KRS-One? Never heard of him." And he gave me an album, a CD called The Sneak Attack in about 2003, 2002. And I listened to that, and I was like, that was, I'd been, I'd been exposed to, let's say, hip hop music or rap music before that, sort of as early as I can remember. But when I heard that album, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. So a year or so later, me and a guy who goes by the name of Inglorious Poet, we made an EP, a mixtape called Stuck in a Matrix. And that was when I started my conscious hip hop journey, so to speak. So around the sort of 2006-ish. So yeah, I've been doing this a while. And then obviously a few years ago, I was like, right, it's time to get serious. And, time being what it is, it can be a little bit non-linear. So hopefully I'm still right on time.
Great, yeah. we were all doing our bit, you know, for the awakening, all trying to do whatever we can to basically to keep ourselves sane and balanced and
Mm.
to help other people to stay sane and balanced. One of the pieces of music, I mean, I can't play the newest one for obvious reasons. I get wiped off the planet. You know
Right.
exactly what I'm talking about. You know, I'm not able to put stuff like that on. Moving on TV, I've got to be very neutral, even though everybody knows what my beliefs are. We're free, and that's it. But the second one was about wars, and it, you know, just made me cry watching it because
Wow.
all of my consciousness. I grew up in Israel. My whole,
Wow.
as I said, I'm an Irish Jew. I grew up in Israel. My whole life was wars, which was a massive lie. I was in the army. I grew up all that fear and everything. That was the whole of my childhood, and I worked non-stop when I left Israel because I'm Irish. I didn't make that bit up. I didn't. Thank God I was Irish. I could get out of there and come back and still work and have a life. And so I created a massive song called Writing the Song for Peace with Jewish, Muslim, Christian, a whole mixture of kids, right, with one song about peace, love, and to counteract wars. And so we're totally on that vibration. So, oh, sorry, where did that come from?
You still there? I think I've lost you.
About that, Johnny, I lost you.
There
There
we
you
go.
are, back. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to apologize. I'm editing at the moment. Okay, so what happened is because I was editing, it came on in the middle, so it's gone now. So as
Okay.
I was saying, you know, on a serious note, our consciousness, everything, we are here to, we've ended wars, except they started the biggest war between us, which is
Mm-hmm.
not about color, it's not about religion, it's not about anything like that. It's about actually about staying well. So how did you get to the level of actually composing that? As I say, when I started to watch it's quite upsetting, you know, to watch. It's sad to watch. Um, and you wanted to make a point about what wars do and how they tear our lives to pieces. So, how did you get to the level where you created that video? Why did you create that video?
Okay. So that was back in 2018, and that was my first music video. Um, and that was one of those where that was something I just felt the need to address at that time. Like I'm very mindful of the fact that what you speak about and the energy you put out, we create, or you know our consciousness, what we focus our consciousness on, will bring more of that about. So obviously, it's always better to be pro peace or pro unity, like you said, pro love, rather than anti, fighting against war. We're anti drugs, we're anti war, we're anti, the V word. But it's sometimes difficult to strike that balance. Certainly for myself, like with my growth, I'm very mindful of the fact, I made the track that we can't play for obvious reasons, and I was very mindful of making that track because you just can't say that. It got took down from YouTube. That's by the by. But the first track it really just came to me, and it was like, this is what I need to speak on at this time. So and the way I put it together, it was more of a kind of lyrical one, like the words I was using, you know, going back now, I wouldn't say they had the most meaning. Perhaps there was meaning in there, and there was a deep meaning that you can get from maybe some of it, but I would say, you know, some of the lyrics were more just putting words together to make them sound good.
Sorry,
Just
Jonny,
being honest.
yeah, because I'm aware that this is moving on TV mental health and people are very vulnerable, I wouldn't put that video on because it would just upset people, and you know,
Right.
I don't want to do that. However, I would love for you to maybe do some of the lyrics. Could you maybe do some of the lyrics just so we can hear them? Would that be okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Thank you.
So trying to remember it now. So you don't want it with Johnny Mnemonic on it, since I got in a harmonics, onyx and carbonics, you aren't on it. Rappers looking like Wallace and Gromit and their wallets. I do not think I honestly want it. Promise to God, if I hit one more, want us to bomb it? Iraq or Afghanistan? Honest, I'll vomit. All this demonic music in the chart, in your car, bumping beats bang, bumper to bumper, bonnets to bonnet, to summit to sonnet. Johnny, right, wrong with a song. If you want it, it's a gift. Written the stars, gone with the comet. There's a war for your mind. What else do you want us to call it? Wealth belongs to the people. When do you want us to collect? Yeah, so that's part of the first verse there.
Okay. Sorry. Right. Okay. So in a way, I mean, I write music. I'm a composer, but I don't write it as it is a stream of consciousness, you know. But I'm more into melodies and lyric. You know, I've never written hip hop or rap or anything like that. So talk a little bit about hip hop. What is it actually? What is it? How could you actually describe what hip hop is say to someone like myself who's not really into hip hop that much, who doesn't understand it that well? How could you describe it? Is it rap? I mean, you've got garage, you've got grunge, you've got hip hop. There's all these different, you know, different types of music. Same way as we've got classical music. I love melodies. To me, it's very important. And you have got a good hook. As long as you've got a hook, then to me it works because it's something, you know, that catches you. But
Yeah.
what is hip hop music, and what is hip hop music, and how do you build that light, that consciousness even more into the hip hop music that you're presenting here?
You're going deep with these questions, Lauren. These are great questions. So I would say I would go from the school of thought of KRS-One, which is one of my inspirations and why I started rapping. And he said a great quote, which was, rap is something you do, hip hop is something you live. So hip hop is a culture. And obviously in the UK, you know, we've, like you said, we've got drum and bass, we've got garage, we've got like jump up, we've got all these different things. And then you've got UK rap. And obviously we do have a lot of US influences because this is where the culture developed, you know, in the South Bronx in like the early 70s. But people were doing it over here just after that. Not a lot of people know about that. And Bristol, people doing it in Bristol in the 80s. So and living the culture. So that would be what I would say on that. Hip hop is the global thing that we're all part of, and rap is part of the art form. Rap is part of the soul expression, or the artistic expression, or the conscious expression of the culture. So I'm shining my light out there in the best way I can, as authentically I can, you know, being from where I'm from. I'm from Bristol. Do you know what I mean? So that's this is me doing it to the best that I can do it, you know.
How do you, okay, what's the difference between rap and hip hop?
Okay, so rap is is the chatting, is the, you know, if I rap is what I was doing on the track, and hip hop is the culture that rap music came out of. Rap music was birthed by the hip hop culture. Hip hop culture gave birth to, you know, it gave birth to breaking, which is breakdancing. It gave birth to MCing or rapping. Gave birth to graffiti art, and obviously Bristol is a great place to be if you love graffiti. That's part of the culture. We've got some great artists around here. So that's another aspect. But we've been doing it over here for a long time as well, in our own way.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking here? You know, when you think about music, before you had studios and instruments and before it got contaminated, well, you had hip hop, you had people would just sit there, they would just, you know, drum and dance around, and it was just natural. And I'm making a connection here with, in a way, with holistic, you know, the
Yeah,
holistic thing before it got marred. I can't really talk about medicine. I don't, that's not what I want to talk about, but it's similar. It's similar because everything got watered down, everything got contaminated. So this is just natural music. It's just natural music. Before people came along and learned how to play a piano or built or orchestral scores, it's basically taking music back to the basics, isn't it? That's all it is. It's always been there.
I love that phrase as well, natural music. Like when I hear that, that really resonates with me, like natural music. I'll even maybe like put that in a rap or something. But yeah, it is natural music, because a lot of people are trying to be something, or they're trying to present a certain image. And I see it a lot. You know, I follow certain platforms in Insta and that kind of thing. I'm not going to say any names, but they're promoting a very, very specific output, and the mainstream do it all the time. But when as I say, you know, when you try to go against that, or not go against it, but when you try to put your own output out there and it's contrary to that, you can, you know, you can sometimes shoot yourself in the foot. Sometimes it works, but you've got to do it your own way. It's the only way you can do it,
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, music is music. This is the thing is, oh, it's really interesting, the synchronicity. I had someone on before who was talking about numbers and about likes and how people have become so, you know, so stuck in the culture of needing to have loads of people watching them and likes and support, and it does things to the brain where people feel really unhappy. And she was talking about that because everything that we're trying to do with the awakening, with the ascension, is to take everything back to the basics again, you know, to take away all the trimmings and everything that's on top, that's covering everything up, and take it back to just being, just opening your mouth and letting it come out, the sound, or the, you know what I mean, being
I
real,
know.
being natural, being, I know what I'm saying. I'm trying to connect the dots. I always do that. The core of what you are, without everything covering it up. You want to go back, back, back. And as I say, you know, it's quite interesting that people don't know what hip hop is, or in the old days, you weren't allowed to play rock and roll because it always was devil's music, you know, the Beatles and stuff. And people that are a lot older, that's how they look at hip hop. Oh my God, I mustn't listen to that. So here's a question, because it just came to me. I was talking. How did you get past that stigma of what people think hip hop needs to be?
Um, I think I've always realized that that's what people want to hear, and people want to hear a certain thing from US artists. People want to hear a certain, you know, like trap music, grime, whatever you want to call. Well, two different things, but people want to hear a certain type of urban music, shall we say? I don't like using that phrase, but over here, So I was always kind of like, let's just do it. Let's just do it this way, and just, who likes it will like it, who doesn't won't, and so what? Just crack on with it, because what else can you do if you're not? You've got to be yourself. And it took me a long time. It took me a long time to kind of finally put myself out there without fear of what people will think, or fear of like, I made, the last track, can you imagine what it was like for me to put that out there? I was like, well, that's where I'm at the moment. I've got to put that out there. Um, I've got to reflect that viewpoint that I've got, and people connected with me because of that. And that's what it's about, is connecting with like-minded people that feel the same as you, and that we can elevate together and we can progress things together, because that's what it's about. We can only do so much on our own, can't
I I must admit that at the beginning of all of this, I was right out there, Queen of Swords, doing all the interviews with all these people that I can't talk about. And at some point, YouTube just kept whacking me off. And I thought, well, I want to build a TV station here. I want to build something that's lasting, something that people can really, really get the point. And so those kind of programs go on BitChute. People can watch them on BitChute. I can't
Yeah.
put them on here, but I know exactly where we just got a comment, which I wasn't actually going to see. I don't know if you saw it before I actually whacked it off. There are people that come on here and they have no morals, and they were referring to the religion, to my religion, and saying things that I'm really surprised that YouTube allow people to mention, to actually say what they just said, when they will not allow you and me to talk about the freedom, or to sing about the freedom that we believe in, or even to put on your amazing piece of music of what we're going through. And yet they're allowed to say the things that they were saying. I mean, sometimes I get shocked at the things that people put on here, the
Yeah.
trolls,
Yeah.
and because it's so against the law in every single way. It's against human rights and against everything that YouTube puts out there. But this is the kind of world we're living in, is that, so how are you building an audience? Because, okay, there are millions and billions of us out there. We do know that. Thank God we know that. So is that how you're building your audiences? Is that how you're bringing people on? Through connecting to the people on that consciousness? Or are you able to use that piece of music? I mean, will anybody listen to it who isn't on that consciousness? Because that to me is more interesting. That is actually more interesting. Do you have fans that are not on our consciousness, and yet they will still prepared to listen to that piece that you wrote, which we can't play on here and we can't talk about because we're
Yeah,
not.
that's another really interesting one as well. Like, I haven't maybe given that as much thought as I possibly, it would be good to give that some thought, but there are some. I mean, I know of a couple, just mates, just mates that I know, or that I've known for a long time, that kind of respect what I'm doing. They've got very different views from me, especially on the last track, the subject of that. But we respect each other, and enough to just kind of let it be. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna like mention names, but I've got a mate who's like, he just loves hip hop, and he's got like basketball trainers, and he was rapping, freestyling at the local pub where we used to go like 20 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Before I even really started. And but he's got very different views from me on the current situation, shall we say, because of differing levels of consciousness, whatever you want to call it. But it's just sometimes there's that respect there, but obviously on the flip side of that, I've also had people that can't deal with it, and they would just they've blocked me, or I've blocked them, or because there's just not but even those people, like I go to certain events and I see people that are dead against, you know, what I was saying, but there's still that mutual respect there. You know, we can still say, hey, what's going on? We can still chat, and there's still that respect. And then you know, there's also the other lot that don't want anything to do with you now. It is what it is, and you have to accept it.
Yeah.
And I fully accept it, what it is.
Yeah, I'd rather lose viewers, you know, and have the people that really respect what I'm talking about. And I know where you're coming from. You know, this is a very, very serious time. But
Mm.
what's so sad here, Johnny, is music is neutral. Music always used to be neutral. Musical talents and music, and it's like it's very, very difficult to fathom how we got to such a level of division when, you know, music, as I said, I went into a mosque and I taught the boys a song about the colors of the rainbow in English, Hebrew, and Arabic, about peace and connection. And everybody supported me, and everybody wanted. These boys were like 15, 16-year-olds, and I was joking with them, saying, "What's your favorite color?" And because in those, you know, we're talking about 2012 when I did it. You know, 9 years ago now. God. Um, it's more than 2012. What am I talking about? It's more than 9 years. Is it
Yeah, 9 years.
9 years ago. Yeah. And, you know, it's really, really sad that the world has got to a level where we used to differentiate between people because, as I say, religion, color. You go out and kill your fellow man because of a lie, because we're all the same. You know, someone put on here the other day, Jesus didn't like black people. And I said, how do you know Jesus wasn't black? You don't. You know, but this is the problem, the division between us. But we got past that with music. Didn't we get past that with music? I mean, everybody went out and appreciated each other's music. It didn't matter what religion we were. Actually, this hurts. I'm an empath, and I can feel the sadness that we used to listen. Anybody would listen to music. It didn't matter whose music it was, what religion you were, what color you were. We all celebrated music together as this beautiful multicultural interfaith world that we are. And then this came along, and yeah, don't get me wrong, I know there's a reason for everything, and I know it's for the good, but it created such a division where, you know, things have changed so much that even your music, you can't. It's like going back to the old days where a black person wasn't allowed to perform in a white club, because, you know, all of that used to exist, where black musicians weren't allowed to play in a white person's club. We've gone backwards in that way, you know, and we've brought segregation and racism and all these awful things that are not really created by us. They're created by a system that doesn't love us. So it's really, really sad, but I don't want to stay on that sadness. I want to, you know, stay positive. Um, so, okay, let's go back a little bit more to the consciousness side. Do you also, I mean, most of us are healers and light workers. We're all healers and light workers. So do you do that as well? Are you involved in any kind of healing modality? Or when you're doing your music, do you ever tap in to any kind of, I don't know, a different consciousness? Like you're saying, do you go into 5D? Do you tap into Reiki? I don't know. Have we got a question? No, we haven't. We've got someone telling us to get viewers on Green Team. So if anyone's got any questions, that makes sense. When you do your music, do you use any healing modalities, or do you use healing modalities anyway? I mean, are you a healer of any kind? Because most of us are now.
So I'm not, you know, I'm not officially, and I don't sort of put myself out there in that way, but I have got that aspect to myself very slightly. Like, I'm aware of the energies. My godmother growing up, not my god, well, a friend of my sister's godmother. She taught me many years ago about feeling your energetic field. Like if you put your hands out, put them parallel, you can feel your energetic field, your magnetic field. And she did remote healing on me back in the day. I feel like I've got that to a degree, but I haven't really explored it. So yeah, I wouldn't say I use it specifically in terms of healing, but in terms of the music, in terms of tapping into different levels of consciousness and that kind of thing. I mean, I'm a very strong advocate of gratitude. So I'll do that in the morning. I'll do my gratitude practice and my breath work and that kind of thing. And sometimes when I get into certain states, lyrics will come to me, and I'll just hopefully they'll manifest for like the greater good. They'll manifest for the greater good of all in some way. So that's sometimes I put that as an intention for them to channel through me in that way. Yeah.
Thank you. As I say, the questions just come to me intuitively as you're talking. I want to ask something else. Most of us, artistic, creative, starseed light workers, have been diagnosed. And, I was given a label. Were you given a label at all of any kind because of the fact that you're an artist that may not fit the mold, the box?
Yeah, so I'm on the autism spectrum, and I only obviously kind of learned that very recently. My mum is as well, and maybe a little bit more so than myself. But until maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, I didn't really know what it was, or even that it was a thing. I just didn't have that level of self-awareness, and I'm very grateful for it now, because I kind of know what it is, and as I say, it's enabled me to deepen my own connection to self and my own self-awareness. So that's a good thing. Obviously, it's got its drawbacks, and it's got things that maybe a little bit like socially debilitating or whatever, but the gifts I got from it, the creative abilities that I've got from it, I'm super grateful for. And I'd never change that. I mean, it's just something that I feel is part of who I am now, and I fully accept it, but until recently I didn't really know what it was. So
Johnny, it's just a label. We've all been given labels. I was given a label borderline personality disorder, and I've gone out and I've proved that it's not a real mental health issue. It's a complex needs, because I was shocked too much as a child, and I was a womb twin survivor. My brother died in the womb, and apparently one in 4 women get diagnosed with mental illness when they are vanishing twins syndrome survivors. So everything again is, it's too complicated. We're all individuals, we're all unique, and I have a bit of autism. We all have a little bit of everything in us, especially now, with everything we've been going through, everyone's going through. But so how does your music fit into that? How do you use your music in order to feel more connected, maybe more grounded? Because that's one thing that we do need to do, is to be grounded on this planet, as much as we don't want to be. I don't know about you, but we do need to be here to survive, to do our work. You'd like to be up there, a lot of the time, inspired and, 5D or 7D or whatever. How do you use your music to keep you grounded then? Because you're a dad, you were saying.
no, it's my partner's one from a previous.
Okay.
Yeah. But how do I
how do you do it? How do you stay grounded? How do you use your music to keep you grounded?
These are brilliant. These incredible questions. These are brilliant, insightful questions. I'm loving it. So yeah, I mean, I find a lot of grounding in gratitude. Like when I do that, I think there's a lot of power in the morning routine and how you the the vibrational state you're in just before you go to sleep and when you first wake up. So I say thank you as soon as I wake up. You know, when I take a breath, as soon as I'm conscious in the morning, I say thank you for, you know, thank you for the breath, thank you for the sun, the sunrise, all that. And I've got a routine that I do. In terms of the music and how it connects to that, I just think I'm trying to think what I was going to say. I just think that's something that it feels right for me to put out because it feels like it's something that I've learned. I wasn't always doing it, you know. I've been doing this a few years. These practices, I just feel that if others were aware of them, you have to be conscious of something to use its power. And obviously, in terms of mental health, I think gratitude. Not that that's the be all and end all. I often talk like it's the be all and end all, but I think it can have a profound impact if it's done as a daily practice in the right way. I really think it can.
Oh yeah, gratitude is the basic thing that I think that if people want to understand spirituality, I think the first thing you need to teach them is to take the focus off what they don't have and put it onto what they do have. As I say, I've been going all year with, I'm not kidding you, one viewer and a bot. I never forget. So maybe two viewers and a bot. I'm very grateful to that bot because he kept me going on Twitch. And I'm very, very grateful. And yet lately I found another app and I'm getting like now, I think we've got 10 viewers on. And to me, it's like, wow, it's just magic. It's a miracle, but it's because I'm focused and I'm so grateful and I keep going and go. I'm the most grateful person in the world that I'm a trained singer and I couldn't find anywhere to perform anywhere. They wouldn't put me anywhere because my message is too positive. It's basically mental health, no medication. Nobody wants to hear that. I recovered in a therapeutic community without medication on the NHS. I have a massive story, but no one would put me anywhere. So my gratitude is that I can wake up in the morning and I could say, Lauren, what do you feel like doing today? Oh, I'll pick up a mic, I'll sing for 5 hours. And that's what being on TV is. It's pure pleasure. The other day, people were triggering me continuously. So I thought I'll do a program called Trigger Me D. And it was literally sitting there, letting them trigger me, feeling what it felt like, and came up with this program because I healed it on the spot by going back inside to my childhood and all of this stuff. And I'm so grateful. As you said, I diversified a little bit, but gratitude, everything that I've been through in life, and I've been through a lot in life. I haven't had a very nice life on this planet, but every single thing has led me to running a new TV station based on love and empathy and hope and compassion and the opposite of the media. Only because I got hurt so badly. I'm so grateful for every single thing that I've been given to deal with in life. I mean, gratitude is the big one. So if anyone is watching, I don't want to go into my story too much, but if anyone is watching, guys, and you want to understand how to have a better day, just the law of attraction. Michael James in London used to say to me when I was in deep depression, he said, Lauren, what about your cats? Close your eyes and think about your cats and cuddle your cats in your mind. That's it. That's enough. That gives you a little bit of hope. Get out a piece of paper, do your 5 a day, and write down 5 things you're grateful for. Like Joe Vitale, he had a pencil. I remember reading he was homeless and he had a pencil. And he was so grateful for that pencil because he was able to pick up that pencil and write. And that's how he wrote his first book. I think it was Zero Limits or something. But gratitude, it takes you from the lowest you can feel. And God knows, I do empathize with people who have depression because I get depressed a lot on and off because of loneliness and all sorts of issues. but you get out a piece of paper or you go on moving on TV and you think, okay, what can I do? So what would be your five? Your five a day. So you get up. What would be your initial five a day?
So you get up. Um, so I'm reading a book called The Magic at the moment by Rhonda Byrne. So back to the gratitude thing. Like I thought I was practicing gratitude. I was like, yeah, I'm practicing gratitude. But until you read that book, and I'm only like halfway through it, you realize like you're only kind of half-assed in gratitude. It goes deep, like it goes deep into all the different facets of gratitude. So the first thing I do, probably just have a glass of water, get myself hydrated. I like to take a long bath before I go to work, so I'll have a bath and I'll do my breath work. So I'll do the Wim Hof method. I'll do a couple of rounds of that, depending on how I feel, and then I'll go into my gratitude. So I'll do, and I used to always do the Tony Robbins the breathing and the whatever it's called. So I used to do the Tony Robbins, but now I just do. I follow an artist, an incredible musical artist called Londrell, who's a rapper as well in the States. And he made a track called Gratitude. And first time I heard this track, it brought me to tears because I was on that vibe and I was like, this is like what it's about. I was like thankful for that track. I was like, this is what it's about. So I do my gratitude and I literally give thanks for 10 things or, a number of things that I feel to do. Um, um, I've been a little bit ill. Maybe last, I don't know, 10 days. So I'm out of that now. So I was doing like the Joe Wicks, the movement. Movement's always good. Exercise is great. What else would I be doing? So you've got movement, breath work, gratitude, maybe hydrating yourself. And I think another thing would be setting your intentions. And we all hear this, set your intentions for the day. And I picked this up from the Magic book as well. And they say in there, kind of give gratitude in hindsight, but for the day in advance, if you get what I mean. So give thanks that it's going to be a good day. Like run through it in your mind. What's going to go well? What do you need to do? And then see yourself that night having had a good day. And I've been doing this very recently, and it works. Like trust me, it's a powerful one. So I'd recommend that book to anyone. The Magic. So obviously it's by the same as The Secret, and it's like a follow-on to The Secret called The Magic.
Yeah, yeah. I remember years ago I was cat sitting and I read The Magic. I remember, but oh my God, you do Will Hoff. Wow, you're
Yeah,
brave. You do the ice baths. Oh my God, I can't do the ice baths. I
I've
can't
done.
even do an ice shower. I can't stand the cold weather. How can anyone sit in an ice bath? How long did it take you to get to such a level? Wow, I take my hat off to you.
I've,
I couldn't do that. How
I'll
do you
be
do it?
honest. I'll be honest, Lauren. Like I've only done the ice shower a few times, a handful of times. Like there's a guy I used to play basketball with, and obviously I still do play, but my knees are playing up. And he was like, "Oh, so what you want to do is do a hot bath, like super hot bath, as hot as you can handle. Let it run out. So while it's draining away, do your breath work, and then have a cold shower. So like the hot, and then the cold. And obviously, medical science don't want to touch this stuff. They don't, but you can feel the benefits of it. Like the benefits are like immediate. And the cardiovascular system, that's something that's like misunderstood. And you can go into all that side of things as well, like the physiological things tied in with the spiritual. Like that's another school of thought that isn't even touched upon. Like there's no official studies on this stuff, or if there are, they're not releasing it. But just from my sort of very limited experience of it, it's massively beneficial. Like the feet, the healing effect on your body. on your joints. You know, I've played a lot of basketball over the years, and I've had, you know, injuries to my back, my knees, my ankles, but really, really good. And I'd say to anyone, look into the whole hot and cold because it works.
Oh my God, yeah. I'd love to interview Will Hoff at some point. I must admit, I just don't
He's a
get
great guy, isn't
it. Okay, just a couple of things, just two more things before we finish. One is, again, getting back to gratitude. Melody Beattie even goes deeper with gratitude. Melody Beattie, from the language of letting go, she talks about gratitude for being grateful for everything, in particular the things that have gone wrong. And Melody Beattie lost her son in a skiing accident, and my respect for her is someone that has gone through something like that. I don't know how she can still go out there and heal the world. You know, I don't see how I could do that. I don't have kids, but I don't feel that I would be able to do that. So I have so much respect for her work. And she talks about literally looking at the worst things that have happened in your life. I tend to do that, and I learn big lessons. And as I say, I haven't had an easy life. I've had quite a crappy life. But every single thing, like for example, you can see spirit working in here in some way, and it's so healing. That the whole of my family are stuck in Israel, and they have already gone through about 4 or 5 of those, you know, whatever. But the thing is, my nieces, my sister, 6 years ago nearly, they all cut me off, right? My father died, and I had to grieve my family, the whole of my family. I was given 5 years to grieve my family, and I didn't understand then why, but now I do, because I've done it. I've been through the grief. I've done this huge, intense work. If they had cut me off now because our beliefs are so different, I don't think I would function.
Mm.
Do you understand? Because it's just too much. It would have been too much. I had 5 years to grieve them all. And so I'm grateful that they cut me off 5 years ago. And I can see spirit working. And the worst things that have happened to me have made me so powerful, have made me the strongest, and given me such empathy for people that are hurt or in pain, that have abused. You know, it's not a secret. My whole big life story is the minute I realized that the childhood abuse I went through with the family dentist was not my fault, I had a complete, massive spiritual awakening where my BPD went out the window and never came back. So I'm not afraid. Everybody knows it. You know, that's the story. I tell everyone. I'm very, very honest about it. But I had to go through that because that gives me the empathy to be able to understand the people that will come on Moving on TV, will watch it. They'll say, "Oh, Lauren knows how I feel." I'm being evicted. You know, all this stuff is happening. I don't have my own home. And so Melody Beattie talks about gratitude, about the bad stuff. And yet, A Course in Miracles says there is no bad stuff. It's all a perception. It's just the perception, you know, the way the world has gone. So I just wanted to put that message on about gratitude. But before I finish, I want to talk to you very quickly about binaurals and sound, because you're a musician and you're doing consciousness. And so I do use binaurals, and I do know someone. Have you heard of Paul McDonald and Bionamics? He creates
No.
okay, because he works with sound and bionamics. He's created a bionamic. It's first generation medbed. He uses sound and lights, but mainly bionamics, which is similar to binaurals. And when you get on that bed, I'm not kidding you. All your pain goes away, depression goes away. So have you ever created, have you ever used, I mean, it's a bit similar to the question I asked you, how, or would you ever consider creating a piece of music that is actually more for balancing the body? Because binaurals, I've used them for toothache, headache. Toothache works straight away. You don't need medicine. I've had really bad toothache, and I've sat there with a binaural on YouTube, and the rife energies. And I
Rife
just,
machine, yeah.
it's just waves. It's just, energies. So do you ever use that? Have you ever used that on yourself to calm yourself or for physical pain or your own music? I mean, the kind of music that the technical side of it, the waves. Would you consider doing that? There's a deep question as well.
We need to get you out there to the world, Lauren. These questions are like, this is right on my wavelength. So I could
Thank
answer
you.
100%. I could answer it in a few ways. So this guy I follow, Londrell, I listen to his tracks a lot, like most days. And I put in on YouTube, I put Londrell 432 hertz. So I listen to his tracks in 432, or I listen to them in 963. So obviously the mainstream music is slightly off the healing frequency. I'll be honest, I've had really bad toothache in the past, and I have had this reference to me in the past. A friend on Facebook said to me, "Oh, Jonny, play this frequency," and you could feel the effects, but it was so bad. I just had to get. I can't even remember what I did at the time, but I was away in Europe as well at the time. But everything is frequency, and you mentioned the Rife machine. I mean, all this stuff is kept under wraps. It's all out there. And the thing is now with what's happening, whatever this may be, and it's got its good and bad points, and the pandemic or whatever you want to call it, this is the Great Awakening, and all these schools of thought or higher consciousness is re-emerging, and people are just getting it. People feel it. I can feel your frequency. You can feel my frequency. I can feel your consciousness. There's a connection there. It just is. Like, and people say, "Oh yeah, take your paracetamol or take this or go to the doctor." They're working from one level of consciousness. They're working from a limited view. They're working with the body as a machine. It's not just we're not just the body, and people are figuring this out. And people are, and I've got many friends on my Facebook that are Reiki healers and deal with consciousness and deal with energy, and it's all out there, and it's all coming back to the forefront. We're just remembering who we really are, and that's the key at the moment. That's what all this is about. This is just a smokescreen to get people to focus on something else.
Yeah,
But that's what it's all about, really.
Well, it's always been there. I mean, even if you take, I always take the story of Jesus, and I'm not saying that Jesus was actually crucified. There's loads of theories out there. I've got my own. It's not about that. To me, Jesus did not suffer because he knew how to do it. Look, I'm just going to say that I've had toothache from hell, and I was in a wheelchair. And I sat there and I went through it. I sat there and I was reading the comments on the Rife, and it was so funny. People were saying, "Oh, there, I'm going to cut my head off," and it was so funny. And I kept reading them, and bit by bit, as I was reading them, the toothache disappeared. I'm not kidding you. It just went. I mean, I remember going to the dentist. I just had an accident. They gave me something about that size. The tablets were that size. And I said to them, "You think I'm going to take those? You're mad." It went straight in the bin. Of course, I used hemp, which was amazing. You can get it on Amazon. It's
Yeah.
legal. Hemp. I washed with lots of salt water. But the main thing that got rid of the pain, I've tried it so many times, is the right frequencies. You just sit there and you laugh with the comments. And everybody's saying, "Oh, I hope this helps you and God bless." And they say the comments are so funny. But why not? If Jesus was crucified, yeah, the pain that he was not an ordinary man. None of us are ordinary. We all have it inside of us. We're all unique beings. My ex-husband's a hypnotherapist. So he puts you into a trance. I can put myself in a trance just like that. As I said, I got myself out of a situation where someone triggered me last night, on here, I was talking about something, and all these bubbles started bubbling up inside me, and it was me as a 5-year-old in a bubble bath, absolutely terrified of the bubbles. And I went there so quickly and I released it. Here, I've created a program called Trigger Me, whatever. But what I'm saying is we can all do it. Jesus was a teacher, and he told us, physician, heal thyself. He told us we can heal ourselves. So what I'm trying to say here is I always took that concept that he eventually went past the pain. There was no pain anymore. Even if whatever happened to him, and to me, it's a big metaphor, it's metaphysical. But even if if the body's being tortured, and hope to God I never get there, but toothache is close to being tortured, you know what I mean? You just sit through it, but with right frequencies. Don't do it without some binaurals, because it won't get any better. Not only that, acupressure. YouTube is amazing. People are going on there and they're teaching you acupressure. You do this and your toothache will go. As I say, every single time, never take a tablet. I'm not telling anybody not to take medication, but that's how the body I have, it's not capable of coping with medicine anymore. So I have to find a way around it. And to me, there's usually always an answer, So if Jesus did it, he always said to us, you can do it, So there's no reason why we can't get past. And as I said, you've got visionaries like yourself, like Paul McDonald with his biodynamic bed, where he's healing people, and he really needs a plug, because what he's doing is just stunning. Not only is I can give you an example that I had a session on that biodynamic bed, and I ended up writing a piece of music with him, which was put up for a Grammy. So it's called Heart Vision. That's how powerful the sounds, and because he released a whole lot of stuff, and then we did this improvisational piece of music, So everything, as you said, everything is there, and we're very grateful.
That music.
Pardon?
You send me that. Can you?
Oh, of course I will. Yeah, I will. It's called Heart Vision. It's stunning, absolutely stunning, and it was picked up by Joey. Oh my God, what's his name? Rock Around the Clock. Bill Haley and the Comets. His keyboard player. Have I got the album cover? Here it is. Yeah, we went on an album last winter. Icy Hot Winter. Laurene Hope and Paul McDonald. It should be the other way around, because basically he sat down by the keyboard and he composed this. He just started composing, and then I started going, ooh, the hook, and then he came in with his harmonies, and it just became this amazing piece of music where you see everything from the heart. I created a video, like Buddha says, you don't look from the eyes, you look from the heart. And so, yeah, of course I'll send it to you. It's stunning. It was put up for a Grammy because Joey loved it so much, but because of everything that the world is and the way the world is at the moment, it didn't get anywhere. But hopefully at some point it will, because it does deserve to get somewhere, like all of us. So Jonny, it's been an incredible interview. I knew it was going to be incredible. I knew that the questions would flow because I channeled them. Is there anything else you'd like to say on Moving On TV? Because the people that are coming on here are sometimes people that are grasping at straws. They're looking for some fun. They're looking for a smile. They're probably coming from a job where they don't know whether they're coming or going anymore. Do you do a day job at the moment, or is it just studio work?
Yeah, no, I do. I'm in sales. I sell RAC breakdown cover, so that's my 5. So obviously I went away from that during the pandemic. I've recently come back. It's mad being out there with what's going on and people such that they are, But yeah, it pays the bills. and it is what it is for the time being.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to say, Lauren, like, biggest love, like, hug through the phone. But like, massive gratitude for having me on. I really appreciate it, and I've got so much from it, and it's beautiful to know that you're out there with the awareness that you've got and just the love that you're putting out. It's beautiful, and I want you to, you know, get out there more. And obviously I'll share this and put it on my platforms and stuff, but you know, keep doing what you're doing, and keep being yourself, and keep being you, and keep putting that incredible, beautiful energy out there. Massive love.
Thank you so much, Johnny. You know, the beautiful thing is I always put on here that millions and millions and millions of angels are watching, and we have got 11 viewers. And as I say, considering I had one and one bot, to me, it's just fabulous. And but yeah, I'm open now to the universe taking Moving On TV and putting it out there. You know, can you imagine a TV station where, I'll just tell you one more thing before we go. When I was in the wheelchair, I've been singing since I was 13 years old. I was the lead soloist of the Children's National Choir in Israel, you know, like Charlotte Church. I couldn't get anywhere because I turned my back on the entertainment industry in Israel. Something said no, and so I didn't go with it. But basically, when I was in that wheelchair, I remember sitting there thinking, I rang up ITV, and I kept thinking, they must put me on. I mean, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm not using meds. I've got a serious, apparently, mental health issue, and I want to sing. Surely they're going to put me on. I've sold out Edinburgh. I sold out the whole country with Edith Piaf. No, rien, rien. They won't put me anywhere. So I made a vow. This is always like my dad, you know. I do stuff like my dad sometimes. Funny. He's up there now. I made a vow that there would never, no one would ever have talents and not be able to get on, because they wouldn't put me anywhere. And this phone, 07437 532 798, is for everyone. And when it gets really big, there will be a switchboard, and people can ring up and say, hi, I'm Lauren or whatever. And I really want to perform. I really want to sing, but I've got nowhere to perform. Will you put me on? And I'm in a wheelchair and I just had an accident. And we say, yeah, no worries. Come on tomorrow or come on the day after. We'll find a slot for you. Because there was no way I was going to let people suffer like I felt that day in the wheelchair. Never. It always comes from pain. And that's my vow. And when I'm really, really rich and lying on the beach, when we're allowed to eventually, and somebody else is Moving On TV, they will stick to that code of the, you know, that conduct or whatever, my ethics or whatever it is I've decided. No violence, no bad language, no derogative remarks about people, no harming animals. That's kind of sponsors I'm looking for. No chemicals. Yep. That's Moving On TV. It's pure innocence. That's it. So thank you so much, Johnny. It's been such a pleasure to have you on here.
Thank you.
And lots of love. And once the interview is ready, it'll be the Laurene Hope Glory show. I will send it to you, and I will definitely send you. Our Vision has had nearly 3,000 views organically on Moving On TV. It's called The Innocent Songs. I think it's had about 150 likes, which is nice. And the comments are just mind-blowing. You'll see. The Brilliant. Talent, well, when you put his talent and my talent, maybe your talents, I don't know, you put it all together, it's mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing piece of music. Should be everywhere. So lots of love. And I will be putting on if you want to join us at 11 o'clock, it's MOTV Jukebox. And that is the jukebox for all the new songwriters. So any new songwriters that want to come on, they go on MOTV Jukebox. And I create a little video for them. If they only have an MP3, I charge them nothing because I don't want to, because it's from the heart, unless they want to give it to me. I do it because I love it, because I'm a DJ as well. And between you and me, I have my headphones. And it's just silly because They're not actually connected to anything.
Love it.
So that's what I do. And so I will be putting on stars, if that's okay with you. And
Absolutely.
anyone you know who wants their music, I created a little video so you can, because I'm not a radio station, but I want the music to be respected. So they have a little video. It takes me 5 minutes to create, and it goes on there. So MOTV Jukebox, that's the songwriter's jukebox. And thank you so much, everyone, for watching, wherever you're watching. So thank you so much, Jonny. It's been a pleasure. And
Thank you.
I'll speak to you soon. What are you doing for Christmas, by the way? But just quickly. What do you usually do for Christmas?
Just go up and spend time with the family, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, my it's got a little niece now. It's like 8 months old. So I'll be seeing the family, having some nice food, few drinks, just a chilled one, just chill away from work and
Yeah.
spend that time with the family, you know. That's
Yeah.
important.
Christmaka is a combination of Christmas and Hanukkah. Christmas.
Christmas. Yeah.
I celebrate Christmaka, but no doubt here I'll probably be moving on TV, keeping a lot of people that have, on their own happy. So anyway,
Wonderful.
lots of love, Jonny. Take care.
Love.
And
Take care.
I'll be in touch soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. That was Jonny Dart. I'm touched of all the beautiful stuff he said to me. I'm really, really touched. I feel very humble when people say things like that to me because, quite honestly, as you know, I always put this on. Billions and billions and billions of angels are moving on TV now. Billions of angels. And whenever I do an interview with you guys, I'm not sure what I'm going to ask you. I'm not sure what's going to come through. But before I end, I'm going to put on Heart Vision because I didn't mention it. The incredible piece of music written by Paul MacDonald, who originated it, and myself. And Jonny might be able to watch it actually as I put it on. But it is a stunning piece of music and it deserves to be out there. It deserves to be winning awards. If you listen to the music, I did dissect it. I think at some point I dissected the whole thing, analyzed it, and how it goes up and down the chakras, and which it does. Let me try and find it. I did a silly version of it with me and Paul as the smiley, but whatever comes up, I shall put in Heart Vision and see what comes up. And then I've got to take a break or take a rest, because I've got to edit these programs, and I want to edit Trigger Me D or whatever for you guys. So let's see. Oh, there it is. You're going to watch some of it. This is the fun vision, the fun Heart Vision, okay, that I did with Zoom. So enjoy, and then I will be back at 11 o'clock with MOTV Jukebox and the lovely Cara. If you can join us, because Tyra will be asleep. I'm going to quickly create an MOTV Jukebox opening for you, sweetheart. Okay, so this is this stunning Heart Vision. And That was the incredible Heart Vision, and I hope you enjoyed the interview with Jonny Dart because I thought he was incredible. You can watch the full version of Paul McDonald's Heart Vision on the Grammy nomination on YouTube on Moving on TV Mental Health, the Innocent Songs playlist. Come back again, guys, at 11 o'clock tonight with MOTV Jukebox. I've got to go and do the video for Cara to get the opening ready. Okay, so I shall be back. So I'm going to have to end the stream and then come back again. Thank you so much for joining. Please subscribe to Moving on TV on here. Please subscribe to Moving on TV on YouTube, Mental Health, Moving on TV Mental Health. Watch all our programs on there. Thank you to the millions and millions and billions and trillions of angels that are watching Moving on TV. And thank you so much for guiding me to ask the right questions today, that I knew what questions to ask. The intuition was able to know what questions to ask. And I hope you enjoyed the interview. So lots of love, guys. Come aboard Moving on TV. your new mental health TV station. I've got to go and eat. So I'm just going to very quickly put on a message from one of our CEOs, me, in a different identity. And she's going to teach you how to accentuate.
Oh my God, this is so cool. So cool. Okay. Remember what we talked about today? Thank you. This is so cool. I never knew I could do this with the video in the background of me. So, I've done it now. Enjoy. Lots of love. Do what you love every day. Bye.
So make sure you eat, make sure you drink water, make sure you stay hydrated. It's very important, especially if you suffer from depression. Guys, I'm here for you. The whole of Moving on TV is here for you to help you stay sane, to help you have a better life. Okay, so I'm going to be back at 11. I've got to go so I can come back with MOTV Jukebox. See you soon, guys. Bye. Right.